Welcome back to Seen It Before, where we're probably going to say something stupid about your favorite movie because we've seen it all before. I'm Danny. He's Dan. Okay. Please take your seat. Okay.
Please stand by.
So, we're doing Barbie today.
Yep.
Yeah, we're doing Barbie? All right. Cool.
That's good.
Cool. Where's my phone? I got it. All right.
Are you drunk?
No.
Okay.
That was, as you said, that was an empty cup. We don't condone the use of alcohol on this program. Anyway.
We used to be movie drinks, but okay.
Hey, on this program. That's
This program. Oh, I see. On this particular Barbie program.
PG-13. PG-13, Danny. All right. So, let's introduce our guest today. We got Jade back here. She was back on, what were you last on?
I feel like I was on a duel. I haven't done a straight up reaction pod in a minute.
It has been a minute.
Yeah, you were on Doctor Strange.
Doctor Strange.
True.
And then you were on the Duel of the Debates, yeah.
Guardians 3? No.
No.
You weren't. That's right. We wanted you on
We
that
wanted to
one.
get you that for that one.
That's right.
I disappointed.
Shame.
But thanks for giving me.
Oh, yes. We also have Cameron. There he is. He's directing for us today, and he's also on talking with Barbie. I'm going to take these ridiculous glasses off now.
No, you had so much Ken energy.
I had Kenergy. I had a lot of Kenergy.
Energy.
Yeah, Kenergy. Anyway, so it was a long enough open here. So let's get right to it.
So the Barbie movie is directed by Greta Gerwig and written by Noah Baumbach, of all people.
Made $162 million opening weekend.
Yeah.
I still like to make fun of him for that because he thought Oppenheimer was going to beat it.
Listen, I was just so excited for Oppenheimer, and I completely underestimated like the fan base for this movie. It's still going. I think it
both of them
less
are still
than 2
going.
weeks, it made $500 million
It's
worldwide.
crazy.
That's insane.
I mean, that's a good sign with the 30 some odd projects they have in development at Mattel. It's like, oh my God.
Yeah, see that's and yet another company not learning like it's not the fucking property, it's the filmmaking. You know, the reason this movie did so well is because Greta Gerwig and Noah Baumbach know what the fuck they're doing.
Yes.
So
100%.
So they're not going to do all the movies.
Well, we don't know. Obviously, there's the writer's strike, there's the actor's strike. Who knows when that's going to end?
I'm not even sure if Hollywood's going to be around in 10 years.
Honestly, like, Hollywood's just gone to shit with the big blockbusters, and it's just, they're all flopping right now except for this one. But, you know.
Good to have one more huzzah.
Yeah.
If this is the last one to go out on, all right.
Theaters could eat off that for a bit.
Yeah, they're going to have to for the next...
They survived on crumbs during COVID. Like,
no, they survived on streaming during COVID. And that's what started all this.
the streaming is what killed like the whole thing.
Yep.
Yeah. So
Streaming killed the
That's
movie
sad.
star. So, yeah. So, let's see here. The opening of this movie, 2001: A Space Odyssey, we saw it in the first trailer for Barbie back, 7-8 months ago. Looked so good. It was like a shot-for-shot remake of it. So cool.
Hold on. There's something playing on the computer.
I thought it was Ron watching
Ron,
TikToks.
what are you looking up on the computer over there? Instead of the, cylindrical object, it started with a big-ass Barbie doll.
Yeah.
And it was fantastic and almost a shot-for-shot recreation of it. Really cool. Really, it's a thing I'm going to come back to while we're talking about this movie, of movies that influenced this movie, and it really shows throughout the bulk of this movie.
Yeah, when I saw that first teaser, I'm like, wow, they're actually going like the smart route for this. Because it's a Barbie movie. Who get there was like hundreds of Barbie movies before they were all animated and and I got scolded by Sep when I said nobody cares about those. She's like, ask any 16 to 28-year-old woman and they all love them. But,
okay, 16 to 28 feels it's skewing a bit young, but I would agree that there were some straight up bops of the animated movies. Like, they were really, really good. So I had high hopes for this movie.
Jade, did you have a Barbie growing up?
I did have a Barbie. I would say I had a lot of Barbies that probably ended up like Weird Barbie.
Yeah, Midge.
I don't know if you can tell by the way I'm dressed, but I wasn't probably the most stereotypical Barbie girl, but I did love me a Barbie. I also very much love the pregnant Barbie. Like, I remember that one coming out, and I was like, finally.
Midge. That's fantastic.
Called her Midge? Oh, man.
Yeah, that's the name of the Barbie. Yeah, Midge.
Do we know who played Pregnant Barbie?
Oh, we just continued.
Who played Pregnant Barbie? Does anyone know?
Oh, I forget her name. I don't know.
I don't know. But yeah.
Fennell, the writer and director of Promising Young Woman.
Oh, that's so fun.
Jay, did you see Promising Young Woman?
I did. I love that movie.
Right?
So is that one okay, so is that one just like a less like grittier version of Spit on Your Grave?
That I haven't seen, so I'm not sure.
Kind of.
That one's rough. That's a real rough
I was
movie.
going to say, that sounds terrible, so I don't know.
You know, it's rough. And also, Promising Young Woman was produced by Margot Robbie, who also produced Barbie.
Oh,
There's a
okay.
web
Of course
here.
it was.
She's like the more I read up on her, she's like not just an actress, she's a producer, and I'm pretty sure she's going to get into directing very soon.
That's awesome.
She's going to become the next Ben Affleck.
I'm here for it. No, the next Greta Gerwig.
She also produced I, Tonya.
She did, and she was fantastic in that. And I feel
That was a
like
great movie.
she was a huge part of this movie getting made, right? And like not turning into something maybe it shouldn't.
Yeah, this movie was in development since like 2010, I want to say. It's gone through 3 different studios, Universal, then Sony, and now it landed at Warner Brothers. And they finally got it done with Greta Gerwig, Margot Robbie, and all of them. So, yeah, it's just a long road that is finally ended up here. And $600 million or something as of recording later. Ron, back to the movies we're talking about. There were some other movies that influenced this, right?
You know it, Daniel.
What do you got?
Oh, you want to talk about
Yes, I want to talk about them. What else do you got?
Well, I mean, of course, I'm referencing right now this list that Greta Gerwig made with Letterboxd, and there's a lot of awesome movies, and I hope this gets people to watch other stuff. The big one, of course, is Singing in the Rain and like those classic Hollywood musicals, because the set design is phenomenal. We talk about how beautiful Barbie Land is, because I want to go there.
Absolutely. Like it was,
There's no food or water though. I'd probably die.
Work around that.
Listen,
But there is beach.
for a
so
few
that's all
hours,
we-
it's okay. And you can see John Cena as a mermaid, so that's even better.
Yeah, when I saw him, like, dude, he's a big person.
Yes, he is.
Like
Big man.
in the Fast and Furious, like you don't really get like the size distribution because like you got Vin Diesel right next to him. But he's a big man.
He is huge.
Like his arm was bigger than like that girl's head.
Oh my god. Yeah. Oh no, you made me lose my train of thought.
John Cena.
No, it was before
Shirtless.
John Cena. What? No, it was before John Cena. It's fine. It's unimportant. Anyway, this movie is narrated by Helen Mirren, your favorite person.
No, we're not talking about this.
Your favorite person,
Yeah, in a way.
in a way.
I'm just saying she would if I,
I
who's
love
yours?
how Helen Mirren has become like this straight woman in Hollywood, because she also does the openings for Documentary Now. And she's like really good at just coming in and not telling any jokes, but the fact that she's not telling jokes makes it funnier. I don't
Yeah,
know.
well, she's super dry. Like especially with like my favorite line was the where she's like,
God,
I'm not pretty anymore. Note to the filmmakers.
Margot Robbie is not the person you want to say this to.
I do want to circle back though, because like you think she's hot.
Yeah, like all right. So she's my gilf, if I had one.
Did you have one?
No, but
No. You know what? Super hot, beautiful woman, super smart. What's not to love?
Okay, we passed.
you said
Helen
Jimmy
Mirren.
Carter. I can't get over.
All right, so let's talk about one of the first big scenes. She's getting dressed. She's making all her day is getting made.
The soundtrack is bopping.
Soundtrack is bopping. Her feet are up right like a Barbie's. That was a big thing, like how they did that or whatever. I don't necessarily know because I didn't have time to look it up. Does anybody else know how they made that?
Just walking on her tippy
They
toes.
stood on their.
Did she? I didn't know if it
I
was like
was
a practical.
curious myself, so I was kind of paying attention. They don't keep the shot for too long, so I would imagine
Okay.
it's just her doing that as they're kind of cutting back and forth.
Yeah.
Okay, I just knew there was something about that. I didn't.
There's, I mean,
what?
if they're going like logistically, there are issues with that because I think Weird Barbie isn't wearing heels, so she but maybe it's because she's not like the stereotypical Barbie, so
She's also doing
aren't like
splits
that.
the whole time too. So like,
IMDb is telling me, this is a quote from IMDb's trivia page, the shot of Barbie stepping out of her heels on her tippy toes is oh wait, no, that's just...
I mean, it's to say that like she's
I already went
her
through the
feet are
trivia, thank you
molded
very
that
much.
way. But but I like that they're a little smart with like the small little details where like Barbie floats from the top of her house to the floor because it's how you would move a Barbie doll on the dream house. You just take them,
yeah.
and like little things like that, and like how like there's no water.
Love that.
he just runs into the wave and he gets brushed back.
Yeah.
And I don't want to jump ahead, but I love that they keep that going even as things are like starting to fall apart. Like it's sour milk, but she still doesn't drink it.
Yeah.
Toasted burp, but she's still not eating it.
This movie is also back to another movie reference. It's kind of like reverse Wizard of Oz in a way. Like they're going from this somewhat perfect-ish world to the actual real world where they discover all these different things. It's run differently. Everything else is,
The
changed.
patriarchy.
Yeah,
Paint the yellow brick road pink.
I was going to say, was the road not yellow and brick?
Exactly. So yeah.
When I was watching when they're going from Barbie Land to the real world, I could only think of Beau is Afraid.
Oh,
and like
yes.
walking through the woods.
Yeah.
It's so funny because there's so many overlaps of inspiration between Beau is Afraid and Barbie. Like they both love Michael Powell and Emmerich Pressburger, these two old farts from England. They make the best movies ever. The Red Shoes is so good, Matter of Life and Death, and and I think Powell and Pressburger's production design inspired like an entire generation of filmmakers.
Yeah, like
including
big,
Scorsese.
bold, and poppy and colorful and stuff.
It's awesome.
And, and I also like the physics with like when they get scared on the road when someone pops and they do
Oh
like
my
a
God,
full
yeah.
flip.
And then there was even like her getting dressed. Like that was part of like a Barbie PC game that I had where you could like see her get
really?
dressed like that. And it
Yeah.
reminded me a lot of Clueless. It was like exactly what I would
Yes.
want. So you remember when she was like, she had her little computer program and it just, like would pick her outfits for her and it was
Yeah.
beep, here I am.
Yeah, it
My
snaps
outfit.
on
I
and
love
stuff.
that.
Yeah.
I like the bit where like she's throwing all the shit out and it's just like advertised as
Yeah, I love that.
like Barbie number 1955.
Because it's so true. Like, you couldn't have just the Barbie. Like, you had to get every single accessory that came out, or your Barbie was going to be laughed at by the other Barbies.
so
Until American Girl dolls came around.
Yeah.
Well, I am not no American Girl doll girl.
I know. I'm just saying.
that was like the mix between because like they criticized like all the dolls were baby dolls. Now they had
Yes.
Barbies. American Girl is kind of like in between. It's like the
It's still-
tween
it's still
doll.
more-
It
Yeah.
is. It is.
Yeah.
I mean,
Still more
wasn't for
dollish.
me,
Yeah.
I mean,
So what Sep
Famously.
My
Sep used
sisters were
to
obsessed with them. That's why I mentioned
fair
it.
enough. Fair
Sep
enough.
used to have Polly Pockets.
Love the Polly
interesting.
Pocket.
And so she keeps saying this thing where like the clothes, like specifically the skirts, were chewable.
Yes, everything though was so malleable. So for an example, like a Barbie shoe was a hard plastic. It didn't like it
Choking
just would,
You'll choke on it. Shoe.
but this one would be like almost like an eraser kind of material. So
Okay.
like you would be able to like literally like fold it over her foot. I love Polly.
Oh, okay.
So it was fun like that.
Bringing it back to Wizard of Oz for a second. This Greta Gerwig had these movie church Sundays during the filming of this movie. So she would gather all the cast, mainly the females, and they would all watch a movie that was inspired by this, or that she wanted to include in this movie, like different inspirations and everything. And the Kens could come as well, but they couldn't stay.
Oh, these were the slumber parties.
Yes, the
Yeah.
slumber parties.
I watched an
Yes.
interview with Margot about this. Yes. Yeah,
Yes.
so that seems super fun. I would
very
love
cool.
to have a sleepover with Margot Robbie.
Very cool, really cool idea, and obviously a lot of really good things came out of this. So I mean, hell, you treat your
So was it
right.
the whole cast or like because there's like
Well, it's a lot of them probably
big
like the
number.
main players or something.
Yeah, I
Main
noticed
Barbies, the main Kens.
there's quite a few. There's that one guy who plays I don't know his name.
Simon Liu.
No, the other guy.
Kingsley
He's playing Bob
Benedict?
Marley.
Oh, Kingsley Benedict.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know, the guy who was in Secret Invasion.
Yeah, like he's having a year, like because he's in Secret Invasion. He's playing Bob Marley's in this, and then I think he was in another thing that was like a character piece or whatever. But like, yeah,
Okay.
Good thing he had Barbie.
yeah. Well, yeah, because now like everyone's like looking at like Gravik and they're like, is it weird that like I wanted him to win because he's a Ken?
Because he can.
He can do it.
Oh boy,
Ken is him.
All right, quick roll call. Who was our favorite performer in Barbie?
Ooh.
I can go first because
Yeah.
I feel as though maybe it may shock some. Michael Cera
Alan.
So is he?
always will be.
Was that an actual like doll that they made? They just made one of him.
Well, he's like Ken's best friend. That's what he was.
Yeah, so I personally never had an Alan doll, but there were, and I can't speak to whether it was his actual name, but like there were like Ken's pals. So like you definitely like weren't getting a set for Alan, but like
He was just.
you had money and you were just buying Barbies. You were looking for like a Barbie party. Like there definitely were other dudes to buy.
Oh, okay.
Other dudes to
I wonder
buy.
like if that market ever like opened up because like I never bought a Barbie or a Ken. So did you buy any?
No. No.
I mean it's G.I. Joes, right? Like I mean
Yeah.
that is a Barbie,
Those are
Basically, yeah.
I never had G.I. Joes either.
but it's a Barbie.
Yeah.
It's an action figure.
I had actual action figures, but yeah. So, but back to Ken. He only has a good day if Barbie basically acknowledges his existence. So
That's so
that's
sad,
kind of
dude.
funny.
It is really funny.
Do we think that's kind of like a parody of like shallowly written like female characters in like rom-coms where it's like the
Yeah,
woman is only
probably.
defined by her attraction to other men?
Yeah.
Think
Yeah.
there's any
Well, yeah. I mean, I definitely got like the sense that like at least they were laying on a little thick, but like they're just trying to switch the gender roles and stuff. Where like obviously the Barbies run the world and everything's perfect, and then all the men are just kind of like useless people, and like that's like what they're going for with the whole like message and stuff. Switching the roles. So yeah, that probably is like especially like horror, like Friday the 13th movies. There's like the generic like woman who's just there to die.
Yeah. Oh, we totally skipped over the Ken stuff. My favorite Ken is Ryan Gosling. Or my favorite character, Ryan Gosling.
Yeah, I mean, I'm trying to be like original because like everyone's saying Ryan Gosling, but like
Ryan.
I mean, he is the best
But,
in his Mojo Dojo Casa House.
Mojo
That's
Dojo
that's gonna be like the hot selling toy.
The
Like
Mojo Dojo Casa
yeah,
House.
it's like I kind of want one. It's just it's a collectible.
Cameron, what's your favorite?
Oh, my favorite. I mean, I gotta go Margot Robbie. She's so good in this. She's like so. I don't know. It's just hard to put into words. She's great.
I don't know. I thought she was better in I, Tonya. She's really good in I, Tonya.
She was. So she's like a great character actress, but I also feel like, to me, like she was Barbie. Like if I had to, I mean, obviously great casting, but it's like she really felt like a Barbie to me. Even at the end when she was like, I'm not a Barbie, like she really was fantastic. Like if I didn't love Michael Cera so much and like wasn't just like surprised by his role, she would have been my number one.
He just shows up.
Just amazing. Like truly if you know me, like I am obsessed with Michael Cera.
For me, it's the scene on the bench. The scene on the bench is so sweet.
Oh, the one with
with
the old lady.
Yeah, the costume designer. Yeah.
Oh, that's sweet.
That's a costume designer.
She's a costume designer.
Overwhelming.
Yep.
Yeah, well, I actually watched or it was a meme actually, but where it's just like the difference, like she like the callback between like they're dancing and she's like, "You look so beautiful, Barbie." I know, thanks. And then like
You guys are thinking about dying?
and then he just died. But then when she's on the bench, she's just like she means it. It's like, "You look really beautiful." And she's like, "I know."
I do love that. So many tender, earnest moments
Yes.
I feel between her and just like real women in the world. I loved her scenes with America Ferrera. I thought that those were super heartfelt. I thought that they resonated with me. I thought they were quite sweet.
Yeah. She was Ugly Betty, right?
She was Ugly Betty, but I will say she was also in a Disney Channel original movie, Gotta Kick It Up, and her husband says to her,
Yeah.
"Si se puede," and they say that in the movie.
Oh my God.
Sorry, I got excited, but I was like, hell yeah.
Dude, you unlocked a memory. Oh my god.
Oh my God. Yeah. No, I only knew her as Ugly Betty. I was like, oh my God, that's Ugly Betty. And
I knew her more from Superstore. That's where she had a good run on there.
there's another movie reference with the sandals. She's like, oh, are you going to stay in this world or are you going to go find your
Oh,
friend.
with the
Matrix,
Birkenstock.
the Matrix reference right there.
Oh yeah.
Red, blue,
She's
red
like, no,
pill,
you're
blue
supposed
pill.
to want to know.
It's like, no, I'm gonna go. I like the heels.
You're going.
You don't want to get cellulite, do you?
Kate McKinnon was also fantastic.
Yeah.
She was great in it. She was really funny.
She's like, she's like, no, it's okay.
Fine.
It's like, no offense.
I love her. I loved her on
I set
SNL.
myself up for that one.
But yeah, so they travel through. Barbie goes off on her own, and Ken follows her in the backseat of the car, and they go through this, escape that you talked about earlier that reminds you of Beau Was Afraid and all these other movies. And they end up in Venice Beach. So they're roller skating around. That first picture we saw of them when the movie was being shot, really cool. They're immediately sexualized as soon as they get in there.
But I love how they both get like both sides of it, because it's like. I'm never really hit on that much. So like if I'm Ken, like I'd be like, I feel kind of like they really, like really brighten my day,
He's like, I feel great. He's like, no undertones of anything like malicious. She's like, it feels violent.
I feel violence.
And then they both get arrested multiple times.
The conversations from the cops when they're saying she looks even better with more clothes because she can imagine more. So funny.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
But also based in real life, because like I've actually heard a lot of conversations just like that, where it's like,
It's just so much better when it's happening like overtly right in front of her. Who would say that?
So here's where I get a couple I'm a little confused on like what they're going for, because when you Barbie supposed to be dumb or like super smart, because it's like she doesn't know certain basic things. But she's also like, she does like these long sentences and words of like, concepts and,
she's
I'm just a little like, where are we going?
innocent.
Yeah, I definitely wouldn't think she's dumb, but I think it's a good question. And I think she kind of answers it herself when she's having that breakdown. And she's like, I don't have any skills. Like, I'm not smart Barbie. I'm not Dr. Barbie. And I think that those like, the more monologue-ish stuff is coming from America Ferrera, right? Because so are her thoughts when she's talking
Her
about
daughter.
death. Like, that's all coming from her.
Oh, okay. Now that makes sense. Okay, because I
I didn't think about that. That's a really good. Yeah. Shit.
So, I mean, but she doesn't seem dumb either. She just seems like she wasn't built with any particular set of skills or knowledge. Except for how to be the perfect Barbie.
So I know it's just a Barbie movie and you don't have to really look into the world building stuff, but like there's the reason that Will Ferrell and like the Mattel executives, they go into the Barbie world because they fear something's going to happen in the real world, that one if she's like gains sentience or something.
Yeah, I guess.
But nothing really. We don't see any effects there. We only see like when like Ryan Gosling or Ken comes back from the real world and he's like, patriarchy. Let's make this a man's world.
Kendom.
Yes. Kendom. So that was kind of like okay. I mean, like I guess you can just say that there's going to be issues.
Yeah, it doesn't really need to go too deep into that. It's like a sub B plot. I think that was just kind of there to be like comedic, because like they're running around the office like Scooby-Doo characters. It's fucking hilarious.
I am wondering if it is more like they caught it early enough, because like I feel like they start to like lay the seeds of like, oh, the toys are selling out, right? So it's just like I feel like the Kenergy is shifting into the real world, right? And they're like, the Mojo Dojo Casa house is like flying off the shelves and like all of this stuff.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't think it's as dire as like they replaced the Supreme Court with dolls, but like it seemed like it was starting to seep in a little tiny bit. Wonder if
that was another funny thing.
time moves differently there.
The Issa Rae was she was like, oh, we have the president come over sleepover, and she's like, you're welcome.
He's like, can we be on the Supreme Court? No, I cannot do that.
No, yes, there's a lot of good jokes, but so they're in the real world and they're so she's looking for her owner. She's
looking for her owner. Yeah, America Ferrera's Gloria.
Right.
But she, I guess, goes to Mattel to see if they can help her find her, or I think, right? I don't know. It's been a minute since we've seen this movie.
Okay, so I did just see it last night, and I feel she does not go to Mattel first. She's on Venice Beach, and then she's out on, like, catching the bus or whatever, doing her thing.
Yeah.
And then she kind of, like, goes back. She, like, does a little meditation and, like, finds the memories.
Oh.
And
okay.
then she finds her way to America Ferrera's daughter
Right.
at school.
Right.
And she's picked up in a black SUV by Mattel. Not sinister at all.
That's right. That's right. I forgot about that. Okay.
Yeah, like there was so there's like they're trying to throw a lot of different beats at us, or like different conversations to have, because it's like obviously the main one is like what are women, what's their role in society. But then we also kind of get this like little tiny thing, little jab from like the daughter, where she's like, well, Barbie makes all girls feel bad about themselves because they're supposed to be the perfect, image, like Barbie standards.
Yes.
So that, I wish that was expanded upon a little bit more. And then like they also had I think they had a really good hook with the story between America Ferrera and her daughter. I thought that would have been really right for some like character stuff there, because you can have like the trio of all three of them. They make up, but it kind of like it's like there's a situation where they don't really like each other, because they have that whole sad flashback from the daughter's perspective, and it's like, oh, I don't like my mom, and then she's like, she doesn't understand me, and then we get it from America Ferrera's point of view, and like, that's cool, I like that, and then it's just kind of like they make up by the time they go to Barbie Land.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. They could have definitely done some more development there, but I mean, they probably had limitations on like, a 2-hour movie.
Yeah, but I would agree with that, because I don't really feel like America Ferrera had too much to do, and I think with the beats that she does hit are really good, and I really like the bits with her and her daughter. I thought that was really, it made me feel bad. It made me think about how I treated my mom when I was a teenager, and I'm like, wow, I was an absolute bitch for no reason. Like, just for no reason, right? She just was like showing her how much she loved her, and she like wasn't having it. And you just like the scene of the daughter at school tearing Barbie apart, when it's just like, why are teenage girls like that? Like, I don't know. Like, she had so many points. Like, she made sense, but it's just like she just cut that person down right in front of her for no reason. Like, that is an insane way to behave. But it is like your go-to as a teenage girl. They're monsters.
Yeah. Like, silver tongue, just like right at it.
Like, I dated him.
And 2 younger sisters.
Oh, fair.
Yeah, I know. Yes.
Only child, so
So while they're goofing around at Mattel, Barbie hides in this one room with the ghost of Ruth Handler, the creator of Barbie, of all things. Like,
that's Carla from Cheers.
We just keep her in as Danny DeVito's wife.
Yeah.
We also keep her
in a
room on the 18th floor. Yeah.
You know that?
Yeah.
I thought because like there was no, it was Danny DeVito's, or I thought it was Joe Pesci's wife.
No, it's Danny DeVito's wife.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
But I watched her in Cheers, so I'm like, Carla's a fucking bitch, but she's awesome. So like, but then I saw It's Always Sunny like right after, so I'm like,
Now you know. Interesting.
could work.
But yes, they had a good conversation there, basically to get Barbie on the right track to go back to Barbie Land first, right? I believe.
Yeah.
Because then they have another conversation later in the movie too, I believe, right?
Yeah, so I think she goes back to Barbie Land after that.
Yeah.
Because when she comes out of Mattel, America Ferrera and her daughter are there.
Yes.
And they tell her, get in.
Meanwhile, Ken is just like
He's making
looking
Ken
around for.
No, he's making Ken
like, can I talk to a doctor? You are talking to him. Yeah, be serious. Come on.
Okay, I'm going to need a pen, I'm going to need a clipboard, and I'm going to need one of those things.
I'm going to perform heart surgery. Do you have a PhD? He's like, nah, but I'm a man.
But yeah, so Barbie Land was once ruled by, all women, and now it's turned into the real world ruled by Kens. So
And it's such a dude's paradise.
dude's paradise, dudes being dudes in dude country.
Nothing better than guys being dudes.
And plenty of mansplaining.
Plenty of mansplaining
God.
mansplaining. I very much enjoyed going back to Barbie Land and it being, what was it? It wasn't
Kendom.
Kendom. It was Kendom. Okay. I feel like Kenmore might be better, but that's my own comment. But I like that. I love seeing all the changes. I thought that was really funny. I loved like Barbie trying to show and how proud she was like of Barbie Land and how much different it was and like how like this is like the woman's dream and it's just like, oh, that's different.
It's not supposed to be.
It's supposed to be like that.
Just gets worse and worse.
And just like his interpretation on what patriarchy should look like.
Wait,
right?
it's horses.
Horses. Apparently like 80s rock and like
only that one song from what is it, Matchbox or REM or something.
Matchbox White, Push, I think it was called. Yeah.
Also,
I wanna push
perfect
you.
song for like perfect song for that.
that whole scene was amazing. Honestly, I'll be thinking about that one for a while. It's my dream. To be serenaded by a fire pit full of Ken.
But like, also back to what you're saying about how like the teenage girl is just so vicious for like no reason.
Yes.
They go. Their plan is to is instead of like working with the Kens to be like, hey, can we maybe not? They're just like, we need to completely just like go behind their backs and manipulate them and make them fight in a war. So they kill each other.
Turn them against one another.
And then steal it from them. Yeah.
And do it by playing with their hearts.
Yeah.
Make them think that you like them and then rip it all away.
Yeah.
It's very meta.
So funny.
But like, I like that like they're kind of villains in that point because it's like that's a super shitty thing to do.
Yeah.
Like, sure, they stole your home and you know they're definitely in the wrong, but like work with them, right? Like because like you got to be like they do come around and like where that they do like we need to work together and like you know be egalitarian and you know but like at first they're just kind of like fuck these guys, just steal their shit again.
Like, what do you think even happened to the Barbies? Because like, did they brainwash them or were they just like, yeah, would love a break?
Yeah, well, we don't really know.
Right.
It could
We'll
you
never know.
could argue either way. Yeah.
Who knows?
There's this new idea called patriarchy. Imagine if you will.
She's like, I love not making decisions. And I did feel her on that. I was like, actually, that sounds sick. That won't be cooking, but
I don't want to adult.
don't want to make any decisions.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, who likes adulting though? Who likes doing stuff?
Right.
And things.
Yeah.
Guys being dudes.
So then we get to this. We go back to the other Barbie's house. I keep wanting to say Ugly Barbie. Why do I keep wanting to say that? It's not Ugly Barbie.
Weird Barbie.
Weird Barbie. Thank you.
There's not a single straight line in there. It's all curves and arcs and shit. And looks like an MC Escher painting.
Oh, because I'm thinking of Ugly Betty. That's why I'm thinking. That's why I keep thinking of that.
gotcha.
So Weird Barbie's house. We're back there. They're all there.
Barbie's just like, I don't know what to do.
And then Gloria gives her monologue. That really, really long monologue. I can't even remember everything that was said, but like it was.
It's the thing is like, it's so on the nose and it's so clear that Greta Gerwig's just like ranting.
Yeah.
I couldn't get behind it that much. I'm
No.
just like, you know.
I couldn't do it. I don't know. For me, it just felt old to me, like old hat. It just felt like something, I don't know, we would have done in like the 2000s or the 2010s. It's just like, yeah, we know like that. It's
been said better in like smarter ways.
It's been said better. And it's also just like, it was not inspiring. Like, who would be inspired by that? That's fucking depressing. Like, that was the pep talk as well.
Yeah, well, I actually didn't think about it because it's just mostly just complaining, and then there
Right.
wasn't a lot of like, but we can do this. There was just kind of like
that's crazy.
Yeah.
That snaps me right out of it. Got to do something about it? No, I would be like, yeah, guess I should sit here.
Well, also it does remind me though, because like me and Sep got in a couple arguments where like when I hear a problem, I want to fix it. And I think that's kind of like a general guy thing that like, you know, oh, there's a problem, we got to fix it. But she had to like explain to me that like sometimes she just wants to vent. And like, you just got to say, yeah, it sucks, you know, whatever. So maybe they're going for that kind of thing. So I don't know.
Maybe. It's possible.
But then they go into the plan of, you know.
Yeah, I just don't think it would like mobilize the troops. Like, not for me. I don't know. I feel like, yeah, word, sister.
So now they all distract the Kens while they get all the other Barbies back to, you know, get the Supreme Court back to make the decision to turn it back to Barbie Land. That's the whole plot. Just
Yeah.
distract the Kens and make them turn against each other.
But the best part is just like I'm not sure if they were trying to do it, but they just it perfectly encapsulated like brotherhood sort of, or they're like,
Yeah.
I fucking hate you. I fucking hate you too. Want to do a dance number? And they start dancing, and then they're friends. I'm like, that's how it works.
I did love the synergy between the Kens. But I will also say that montage of them turning them against one another was so funny to me. Like the bit about you've never seen The Godfather.
Dude, I cackled. I was
Yeah.
alone in the
Yeah.
I was like the only one. Like,
I literally
went
thought
alone.
of you. I'm like,
Yeah.
wait, why did I think of Danny?
It's like, I've never seen The Godfather. Oh, do you want to watch it? And I'll talk through the whole thing and explain it to you.
Oh boy.
So funny. The CDs comment when he said, he said you don't have any
Certificate
CDs.
of
Nobody has
deposit.
CDs. Oh, so
Yeah,
good.
that's the one reason Sep won't watch The Godfather with me. Just because she knows I'll just be like, oh, this is the scene where Vito, like, the origins represent, like, murder's going to be coming.
So
Yeah.
good.
That's
I
pretty
love that
accurate.
bit.
But yeah, then there's that other scene with Ruth, I believe, that came up somewhere towards the end. I forget where exactly.
Yes, Ruth is at the very, very end.
It's the very end. Okay.
And she's kind of presenting Barbie with two choices. And she's also kind of just explaining what Barbie was meant to be, which is, not to be the perfect girl, but to be something that girls, it seems to me, like something girls can look up to, right? Something, because it's not just like to the point of the beginning of the movie. It's not like you have a baby doll where it's like it's telling you to take care of this thing. It's like the one cool thing about Barbie is that she could be anything, right? All you had to do was change her outfit and she could be the most powerful woman in the world or, whatever else you wanted her to be. So
Right.
it's supposed to represent choice, I think.
You have the
right?
power. Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, and like that's like the kind of thing that like I've always had an issue with, fighting feminism, fighting against the traditional values, where it's like, women just like it's either like what it feels like now is like you can either only be a mom and be the traditional housewife and do all the dishes and do all the chores and take care of the house, or you could be a long career woman. And you can't have in between. And then, I've seen people shit on other people for doing whatever they want. It's like, I like that message. Is you do what you want, feel no shame for it, because it's your life.
I think that's
that
the
totally
thing.
makes sense.
I think it's the thing Greta Gerwig is trying to get at about herself too, because she was an actress and then now she's being a director and now she's just trying to keep building her career too, just like that.
And so long she was just like associated with Noah, right? I feel, and even now, right? They make a lot of projects together and they are partners, right? But like she is her own person, and I feel like she was associated with him for a long time without her own kind of personal identity. And I would also say it feels just like, I don't know, I feel like it is almost a timely conversation as well, because I don't know if you guys have seen like this bit on TikTok, like the trad mom or the trad wife thing, like traditional wife.
Oh,
and
I haven't
how
seen that.
this is making like a comeback where it's just like, I don't want to work. Like
I've heard
am
about
a
this.
traditional wife, and I want to like be the woman's place is in the home, et cetera, et cetera. And it's like that is fine.
I have a problem with saying like the woman's place is there. Like that's
That's
but if you want to do that, go for it.
Exactly. If you
Yeah.
want to do that, that's totally fine. Like who cares?
don't make
Anybody
it somebody else's choice. Make it your own.
make it your own choice. Exactly. And it is, though, it's a weird one because it's like there is this dichotomy and it's for everyone, I think, right? Where it's just like, oh, you can do it all except for the fact that no one has ever been able to do it all.
Yeah.
Right? Like it's just like you've always had help. It's like even guy or girl, it's like you're never going to, like, for an example, like if I get out of work at 6 or 7 o'clock, like I am not rushing home to cook dinner. Same thing with my boyfriend. Like if we had a kid, we wouldn't be like, we're gonna crush it at work every single day, work 9 to 6, do every single thing that's on our to-do list, and then we're gonna go home and we're gonna make this gourmet meal for our children, and then we're gonna read them a book. There's gonna be no TV. We're gonna instill all the values we want in them, and we're gonna be perfect parents and perfect.
That's overwhelming
bosses
as
and
fuck,
perfect
bro.
Yeah.
It's just like not a realistic thing.
No.
Yeah.
So it's like it creates this idea of like
Yeah.
sometimes all you have time for or all you want to do or the only thing that makes you happy is like being at home with your family, and sometimes being at work is what makes you happy, and that's fine as well.
Yeah.
I think we're at like a point where it's like, there's no stigma if there was one before.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, even where we work, there's like, I think there's a pretty good like leadership between men and women, just all
That's a good
around.
ratio.
And that's just one industry. Probably other ones, and
Yeah.
I can only assume it's just a
Yeah.
small pond.
True.
I don't think we'll be seeing all female construction squads anytime soon, but
Yeah.
fingers crossed.
But also, then there's like the thing where it's like, don't feel like you have to, go into that industry because there's not a lot of women. If you want to do it, go for it. I understand there's some pushback between, it's because it's like it's such a guy's thing, and the culture just evolved that way. So there's going to be a few comments that are
Greta
like,
Gerwig's getting at.
yeah, and that's totally valid to criticize.
Yeah.
I guess my only problems with this movie are just like it's pretty on the nose, specifically with that monologue from America Ferrera.
Yeah.
Because it's like, yeah, no shit, you can't do it all, and like like you said, like we saw this 20 years ago. Like people were complaining about that years ago. So I think general audiences get it nowadays, and also I think they bring it home at the end with like the the Billie Eilish song, because like it's like all over my For You page right now. We're just like, yeah, what she's made for. What she was just made as like not necessarily an ideal, but like a chameleon type thing where it could be anybody. She just happens to be like Margot Robbie just happens to be like the base of it.
Yeah.
Right.
Speaking of Margot Robbie, one last piece of trivia. So, how many wigs did Margot Robbie wear throughout this movie?
That wasn't her natural hair.
5.
No.
5, 6.
Ron, you said 5 as well?
Yep.
Okay. I'm going 8.
18 wigs.
You're joking.
According to IMDb, 18 wigs.
Did they
Technically,
all
we were
make
all
it
right.
into the movie, though? Did every single look make it in? Because I'll say her hair doesn't change that often.
Not necessarily. I mean, I don't know. That's all it said. So, I mean, like, who knows?
Oh, I remembered what weird Barbie reminded me. Angelica's
Yeah,
toy.
Cynthia.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Wow. Amazing
That's,
callback.
that's a good one.
Amazing
That's a good
callback.
one.
Amazing.
Very good. Very good. All right.
Well done.
Well,
Well done.
yeah. So, Danny, what are you going to give Barbie? Out of 100.
Out of 100. 78.
Okay.
I think a lot of the heaviness and just the kind of blatantness of all the political commentary, that's what tears it down. The jokes bring it up a lot because they're great and funny, but like, yeah, I mean, like, yeah, a couple rewrites could have gone through.
Yeah. This movie is fantastic. The acting is on point all the way through. Every single person. The production design definitely has a chance to win production design of the Oscars next year. And, yeah, as you said, some of the commentary is a little, I don't know if we should be. That's probably why it became a PG-13 rating, honestly, is because of all these bigger political themes. But I think I'm going to give it an 84.
Okay. That's high. I'll go 75.
Oh.
I walked out in a good mood. It was time well spent. I love the soundtrack. I love the vibe of it. I thought the jokes were really funny. There are just a couple things, that were just a little too on the nose for me. I think it takes a little bit of a turn after the America Ferrera monologue. For me, I love the beginning when we're really leaning into how silly it is. I think that's so fun.
That's where it should stay.
So, but even some of the dance, some of that stuff just goes on a little bit too long. I'd maybe cut 30 minutes.
Yeah.
Personally, but it was fun. I loved it.
Good. Cameron?
Yeah, so I'm giving it a 90 out of 100.
Woo!
It's kind of everything that I look for in a summer movie.
Yeah.
It's bright, it's fun, it's shot beautifully. As we've already mentioned, production design and everything. I honestly don't have a problem with the literalness of the messaging here. My only problem is that it's not as groundbreaking as it thinks it is. That's my only thing. But I feel like I'm so glad that Greta Gerwig has the position to make a movie this big, and I'm glad she did it so well, and it was so inspired. I'm just dreading the Narnia movie because who gives a shit about Narnia?
Is it a TV show or a movie? Because I never know.
Wait, she's
what it
doing
is.
that?
She is doing the
need to
Netflix
talk to you about
version
that
of that.
offline. But I think actually, you know what, Ron? Those are good points. You sold me. I'm gonna change mine. I'm gonna bump it up to an 80.
Ooh.
Wow.
I will not go higher than that.
All right. All right. Fair enough. Barbenheimer Part 2.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. Is this a good double feature now that we've seen both of them?
Yes.
They're very.
They pair well.
I think they pair very well. Honestly, have you seen Oppenheimer yet?
No.
Okay. Well.
They're two very different movies.
Yeah.
Like,
So we won't spoil anything, but like two very different movies, but also similar type themes, but they kind of meld together pretty well for what they were. I don't know.
yeah, I mean,
I
I think
going with that.
Oppenheimer taps into like anxieties relating to like the human race and death, and I think
Yeah.
Barbie definitely taps into like anxieties for women and like societal or social interactions between people and stuff. So,
Yeah.
you know, two sides of the same coin.
Well, it's been fun, y'all. So we're Seen It Before. You can find us on Instagram and TikTok with the handle @SeenItBeforecast. That's SCENE It Beforecast. And on Twitter with the handle SIB_pod. I'm Dan.
I'm Danny. You can find me at Danny_Was. It's my Instagram. Why do I keep doing that?
Want me to start over?
No, it's fine. At DJ Was for Serialized and Letterboxd, or my YouTube channel, which is just Danny Was. Jade.
Yay! You can find me IRL. I'm not on socials anymore, so.
Oh, okay. I'll change your CG then.
All right. Catch her somewhere. you might see her in public. Cam.
It's Jade from that one podcast.
Hey. Cam Kircher, Letterboxd and Twitter for all my ramblings.
All right. Well, we're back at it again next week with I don't know if it's underrated, but it's a new horror movie called Talk to Me
Right.
by the YouTubers from Australia. They did I saw this movie already. They did a great job with it. I can't wait for everybody else to see this movie that's going to be on the podcast. So
You look. I'm just like, what?
what?
What? She's,
What?
What?
Wait, no.
What?
What?
I mean, I want to see that movie, and I would have been done.
We don't have a guess for it.
We don't.
I haven't seen that though.
Next week.
I'm seeing it literally after this podcast. So,
All right.
oh, actually, no. You have to.
Hit me
She
up,
might
hit me
be.
up, hit me
You have
up.
to catch
We
it.
also
this
said
week.
Nick was going to be on this podcast, but he's sick, so he's not here. And well, you know, maybe we'll have Jade next week. We'll see.
Who knows?
Anyway, it's been an honor as usual. We'll see you next time.